Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the Measured Tones Institute of Quran YouTube channel and Facebook page. Got it right this time. All right. Alhamdulillah. All right, so before we begin, let's make dua. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, as-salatu as-salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah. Allahumma allimna ma yanfa'una wa anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa zidna ilman wa 'amalan mutaqabbalan ya arhamar rahimin. All right, so we are back with the latest video to discuss heavy and light letters. This is somewhat of an extension, I guess you can say, to the the idea that we covered, the concept of giving each and every letter its right. And we talked about characteristics, and we talked about makharij al-huruf, which are the points of articulation. So this particular exercise helps us understand one type of characteristic that all of the letters share. Either the letter is going to be heavy or it's going to be light, and there are only a couple of exceptions. However, about 99% of the Arabic alphabet is only going to be one or the other. You're very rarely going to find a mix between the two. So the way I normally do this class when it's in person is I draw a chart on a board, a whiteboard or whatever board I have at my disposal, and I label inside light, I label inside heavy, and I'll just have my students tell me which letters they think are light and which letters they think are heavy. And the way I do this is I just start listing all the letters from beginning to end, alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, kha, dal, dal, slowly, so that and tell them when I say a letter, tell me light or heavy, or say light or heavy, and I proceed to putting each letter in its respective category based off what the students say. Now, it sounds very simple, basic, elementary, and in fact it is, but you would be very surprised to know that even some slightly advanced students have, a couple hiccups in this area, thinking that certain letters that are actually light were heavy and vice versa. I'll give you one hint. There are more light letters than there are heavy. That's one hint that I'm going to give you. So what I want you to do is, since I'm not going to be making this chart on the board, and doing like I normally do, what I want you to do is, after I finish saying this, I want you to pause this video. I want you to grab a piece of paper or anything that you can. If you want to write on your hand, write on your hand. Get something to write with, whatever you got, whatever if it's a crayon, get it, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. It's not that serious. Get something to write with, and I want you to list for me all of the letters that you think are heavy. That's my challenge to you. So we can call this the heavy versus light challenge, and let's see how close you get. Let's see if you get it perfectly right, 100%, you get all the perfect letters, or if you get really close, or if you're way off. That'd be really interesting to find out. Now, the best part about this class is that if you're way off, absolutely no one will know, because you're in the comfort of your home. Alhamdulillah. So don't worry about it. You don't have to feel embarrassed. You don't have to feel anything, because you're at home. You're in the privacy of your home. You don't have anything to worry about. All right. So I want you to go ahead, hit that pause button, get a writing utensil, something to write on, and list for me whatever letters you feel are heavy. And we'll come back and let's see how close you get. Yallah, bismillah, let's get started. So, let's see how you did. Let's go to the slides. I hope you were able to get that paper, pen, marker, crayon, whatever, to write with and something to write on. All right, so shall we proceed to revealing to you those heavy letters? Are you ready to be? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so, and 3. Okay, I just hit it a little too prematurely. So anyway, there you go. The heavy letters. Kha, Sad, Dad, Ghain, Ta, Qaf, and Va. There you have it.
Those are the heavy letters. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Ra is a heavy letter. Slow down, slow down. It's okay. You're not wrong. However, Ra is one of those exception letters, and I'll get to that in a little bit, inshallah. So, heavy letters should, as I like to say, put you in awe. Why do I say awe? Because that's the way your mouth should be positioned when pronouncing these letters. Kha, sa, ba, gha, ta, qa, and va, right? There, your mouth is positioned to where you're saying all, ball, call, stall, wall, call. That's how your mouth should be positioned when pronouncing these letters. As for the light letters, here they are. We have the hamza, which is a, ba, da, tha, ja, ha, da, the, z, sa, sha, a, fa, ka, la, ma, na, ha, wa, and ya. One thing you'll see consistent with these is that they make you smile. So light letters make you smile. Heavy letters make you in awe, whatever. You know what I'm saying? No, but seriously. So there you have it. Heavy letters and light letters. And let's get to those exceptions. Like I said before, one of the exceptions is the letter Ra. And the reason behind that is because it can be heavy or it can be light. It depends on what haraka it is carrying or what vowel it is carrying. Does it have fatha? Does it have kasra? Does it have dhamma? This determines whether or not you say it light or heavy. And inshallah, I will make a video explaining all the rules for the letter Ra. Alright, so then we have the long vowel alif, which is also an exception. With this one, it basically is like the only letter that actually shapeshifts in a sense, right? Quote unquote. Because if you attach an alif to a heavy letter, it just stretches the heavy sound of that letter. And if you attach it to a light letter, it just stretches the lightness of that letter. So example would be if we put an alif on if we attached an alif to a ta, right, and made the word taba, right, you just stretch the heaviness of the ta from ta to ta, so you get taba, right? So that's basically what you get. However, if I attached an alif, a long vowel alif, to a kaf, let's say, and made the word kana, kana, right? I go from ka to ka, kana. That's it. So those are your exceptions. This is on the basic level. Inshallah, as we progress, inshallah, start to introduce some slightly more complex concepts. Inshallah ta'ala. I hope that was helpful. Now let's talk about why exactly this is important to know.
And we're back now with the question of why all that? Why do I need to know? Okay, so that's important because it's actually a very, very, very common mistake to take the characteristic of one letter and spill that over onto another letter, either the letter before, said letter, or the letter after it. And it's probably one of the only characteristics that I can think of right now that people actually spill onto, so to speak, the letters before or after it. And some people will even allow for a letter to affect two letters down or two letters before, right? An example of spilling over a characteristic from one letter to the next or before it and so on. My favorite example, and one of the easiest examples we can give, is خلق. Let's go to Surah Al-Alaq. خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ عَلَقٍ. Right? Here in this word we have, in khalaqa, we have three letters. We have kha, lam, and qaf. From our previous demonstration, we know that kha is heavy. We know that lam is light 99.99% of the time. And we know that qaf is heavy as well. Now that lam is sandwiched between two heavy letters. So naturally, what most people would do, easiest thing, say it straight across, khalaqa, right? And that's what most people will do, and that's what most people actually do. So what we're supposed to do is, however, is keep each and every letter independent, no matter what's before it or after it, like I explained in the definition of tajweed, right? So that lam shouldn't be affected by the heaviness of the kha, nor should it be affected by the heaviness of the qaf. It stands alone. It's each and every letter. So how do I say that word properly? Kha, la, qa. Kha, la, qa. Like I said in the demonstration, you should be smiling when you're saying light letters for the most part, obviously unless the letter has a dhamma on it, but even still there's a lightness that can be applied even in saying the dhamma. But when we're saying the heavy letters, your mouth should be more round, right? Kha, qa. Whereas the lam, it's light, so we're saying la. So we say what? Kha, la, qa. خَلَقَ. Right? خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ عَلَقٍ. عَلَقٍ. Right? Tajweed is something that is actually very animated. If your mouth is not moving up and down and side to side and back and front and this and in all directions, animated, very animated. If that's not happening, chances are you will pronounce something wrong. So that is the purpose behind doing this exercise. I hope this will, inshallah, add something to your ability to recite Allah's book properly. That's all I have to say. Let me know in the comment section how close you got, how many you were spot on with, how many you were, how many you got wrong, excuse me, how far you were off, so on and so forth. Let me know down in the comment section, either on the Facebook page or the YouTube, or right under the YouTube video. I'd be excited to know how close some of you've gotten, if this was the first time, especially if this was the first time that you've ever done this exercise. However, if you have like this extensive background in tajweed, you're not allowed to answer, obviously, right? So, inshallah. All right, take care. Assalamu alaikum.